Hello, artist Stephen Graham here, coming to you from Bartlesville. I am in my classroom at Kane Elementary School. I'm an art teacher here, and this year my students have been seriously into puppetry. So this is one of my puppets that I made. Oy, this is Foggy. My name's Foggy, man. I think everything is groovy here at Kane. This guy's an art teacher here, and he made me. That's right. And today, I wanted to do a little video about the type of puppets that my students are making to help other teachers if they wanted to make some puppets too. We've been using some puppetry kits, and I wrote a grant for that. So I got a wonderful grant this year, and I'm going to tell about that grant I got. So maybe some other teachers would like to write grants too and make puppetry with their classes. So I wanted to give some things we figured out about this puppetry kit that we ordered, and some things I might do differently in the future with them. Because we just jumped into it this year with the entire school. So we're learning as we go. That's right, learning about puppetry. So we have a puppet theater we've made too, so the kids can perform with their puppets. So my grant I got was from the Bartlesville Public School Foundation here in Bartlesville. And with this grant, we ordered Colorations Make Your Own Imaginary Hand Puppets kit. And this is right here is enough for 12 students, for 12 puppets to be made. So I ordered enough for all of my students with this wonderful grant I got. And I'm finding some things out about this. So I'm going to talk about and show some examples of some of the students' puppets and talk about some things I figured out about these kits, because we'll be using these in the future. Or some very much like it. We'll be probably using some this summer in my summer camp as well. So I have enjoyed these, but there's a few limitations to them and a few things I found that can make them work better, and that can improve them a lot. And they're great though for what they are. So I'm going to talk about that in this video. Here you can see our puppetry kit, and we're going to open it up here and see what it comes with. It has 12 puppets here, and these are made out of felt, and they're a soft felt, and they're kind of basically like an oven mitt. Sometimes there will be one side here that's a little bit shorter than the other, so I usually make that shorter side the bottom lip, because the way you will puppet it. So even an adult's hand can fit inside this puppet and puppet it. Now, you'll notice one of the limitations right away here, that it's so soft that this soft mouth plate here wants to wrinkle up. So we came up with a solution for that right off. We got some stiffened felt. This is a stiffened felt, which you can buy at different craft stores. And so we're cutting out a mouth plate out of this stiffened felt to put in the mouth first. Now, we had to kind of go back and do some of that to ours because we're just learning and figuring things out. So I have some different colors here of stiffened felt. Most of my students wanted a black mouth plate inside of theirs, so we did that. Now, there's some other ways to do this. So I'm going to show a couple different ways you can improve your puppet if you are making this kit. I wanted to show some of the other things that this kit comes with. It comes with some pieces of string, some yarn here, which can be used. The kids have loved using this yarn for different things. It comes with a lot of felt shapes, way more than you will probably need. It comes with eyes, extra pairs, more than you will need. So these nice big googly eyes, my students have enjoyed using these. So you've got some specialized shapes here. They like these zigzag kind of shapes, which can be put along the back or stood up different ways. There are some pieces that can be used for ears or tongues, things like that. There's a bunch of these teardrop kind of shapes, a bunch of circles, let's see if I can find them. They're in here. Some kind of snake-like tongues. These are great for different uses. Great things that you can use to make your puppet with. So let's talk about now what we're going to do to build this puppet. We have some different kinds of glue here. This is Aleene's felt and foam tacky glue. This is another type of felt glue that comes from a craft store, and this is the Aleene's Fabric Fusion. Now, I tried these products as well as the regular tacky glue to glue the felt together, and what I found was that this kind of glue was the best for us to use. So I got this product for the kids to use. Now, I also found that if you glue the eyes with this, it's not going to work very well. These are very slick on the back, and hot glue is the way to go to glue these eyes on. So we have been using a combination of hot glue with me using the hot glue gun and having the kids use this. Most of my kids are younger and it's not safe for them to use the hot glue gun, but they can use this kind of glue. You just have to cut the top off after you open it, and when it's pretty full, it's pretty easy to work with. Once it starts to get about halfway full, I usually tell the kids to leave it on its side, don't pick it back up, and that will get the glue down to the other end quicker. It's very thick, so you have to have some patience, and some of them don't understand that if you can feel air coming out of it here, then it's gonna come out. You just gotta leave it upside down for a little while and give it time. When they get really low, I'll start combining them. I'll start leaving one on top of the other and let it drip down and fill the other one, and then they're good to go again. So anyway, that is how we are gluing these felt pieces together. And what I find is that you need to use, it's not exactly like gluing paper together. So if you're going to do some gluing here, you need to put quite a bit of glue on it. So I will put a generous amount and then lay it on here. And you don't have to, just press it a little bit and then leave it. This could become an ear now. Now, the thing is that kids don't seem to sometimes realize that's not instantly stuck like paper is going to be. You've got to kind of just leave it. And if they're doing this neatly, this can be stacked on top of something else and it's not going to stick to it. But a lot of kids will have glue out around the edges of things. And so you have to be aware when you're laying them out to dry. Sometimes we'll pop them on the drying rack, and I'll use some wax paper sometimes between them or something like that. So anyway, this is the way to go that I have found on your glue. Now, it was not a very scientific test I did with those other kinds of glue, but I found this Aleene's felt and foam glue to be very good for this. So there's some ears for a dude. So let's talk about stiffening that mouth plate now. So I cut a pattern here that would be for the mouth plate. And so this is the black felt. And so I'm going to cut some mouth plates out of this black felt that can be used on the outside of the mouth here. So I've got some chalk, so I'm just going to trace my pattern. Cut that out. I'm cutting out, I can cut out several at a time with my good fabric shears, which I don't let the kids use. The kid scissors will cut this as well, but it's a little bit harder. Okay. Now this can be glued into here, giving it a much harder harder mouth plate, which will help control and help it have a better action. You can see here's a puppet that has a mouth plate glued in with a tongue, and so with it. Another way to do the mouth plate is to do one on the inside. So before you attach things to the outside of your puppet, or a lot of things, this can be turned inside out, and I can put a mouth plate inside here. Now I don't want to waste my this felt, the stiffened felt. I don't need to use that. Another material I can use is some sticky backed foam. So again, I'm going to cut a shape out of this sticky backed foam, a mouth plate shape, and I'm not going to cut this with my fabric shears. Cut this with some other scissors. Okay, so let me go around this. Peel this. This is the sticky backed craft foam, which you can find a lot of places. Okay. Now, I'll just line that up on there. Now we can turn it back. It doesn't matter what color of foam you use because it's going to be on the inside anyway. So that makes a nice mouth plate too that's going to be a little bit easier to use. And you can put a mouth plate on the inside and then one on the outside too if you wanted to. So some additional things that I thought would be good to add with the puppets would be pom-poms. So here's some tiny pom-poms, which can be great to be glued in for teeth. So here you can see this puppet has some pom-pom teeth glued in. And we've also done some other kinds of teeth. There's no white fabric with this puppet kit, so if you want white teeth, you can buy the white stiffened felt, just like I bought the black stiffened felt for the mouth plates. So that's a possibility. Another thing pom-poms are great for is behind the eyes. If you glue pom-poms down and then prop those eyes up, your puppet will be have this forward-facing eyes, and when you're performing with it, then it's easier to see. Whereas if the eyes are glued on flat, you have to tip your puppet's face down a little more to have the eyes show. Because when you're performing with a puppet, maintaining eye contact with your audience or your camera is important.
We love puppets at K.
We're going to put this puppet together now. So here I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to glue in a mouth plate. Here I have a mouth plate. I'm going to glue this in with some hot glue. And I'm using hot glue to glue this mouth plate in. Now the other kind of glue, the other foam and felt glue could be used for this. But I think I like doing this part with hot glue. It's one of the first steps you might do on your puppet if you're making them with your classes, is give them a mouth plate. So I'm going to put this hot glue on here. I'm going to be real careful, and I like to get as very close to the edge as I can. This is another reason I don't let the kids do it. Okay, so we have some hot glue on there, and we're going to press it on here. Oh yeah, that's great. Seems very good. I'm gonna give this guy a little red tongue here. Put a little hot glue on there. Make sure I got it right side up. Put that tongue in there. Oh yeah, that looks good. Now the eyes. Now, as I said, these eyes can go on, somewhere. I tell the kids where you can put them close together for a very focused look, or spread them further apart. You can move them back further or closer. It depends on what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to get some snout or nose in here, you can glue them straight on here. Now, as I said, I do this because if you're putting hot glue on the back of here and then you accidentally grab it the wrong way, it's going to get hot glue on you. So it would be safer for the kids if they put the hot glue here and then stuck the eyeball in it. But again, I'm not going to let the kids do this. I let sometimes fifth graders use a hot glue gun for a few things, but not very much. So now I'm going to, I think I'm going to hot glue these pom-poms on here to get my eyes a little higher up. So, and like I say, if you're using the felt and foam glue, that would probably work with these too. So a pom-pom here and a pom-pom here. Here, a palm there, palm everywhere, pom-pom. Let's put one right here. Okay, there's some pom-poms. How about a black nose? Well, let's go ahead and do the eyes next. So I'm gonna put some glue right here and be very careful about how I do that, and then put it right into there, right onto that pom-pom there. There we go. That looks great. Now I could sand the back of these to make them even a little more, to give the glue a little more something to stick to, and then you could use tacky glue on them, but sanding the backs of all these eyes, that's not something I really want to do. So let's give him a nose. We could give him a little green nose. We could give him a bigger black nose. Yeah, I think I'll use this. So looks like this was some that somebody had got some glue on. Let's just put that there. Just hold that for a second. It sets up. Now, teeth can be done with pom-poms. So this is an easy way to do teeth. Also, I like to make sure that this is glued all the way out around this edge because I think it looks funny if it's not. So if there's a place that didn't catch, I can put just a little bit of hot glue there. Okay, that's good. Things can also be, if you wanted to glue some shapes on the other side of this mouth plate before you glued it in, then you could have things that stuck out around this. Teeth, triangle teeth that stuck out around it that were kind of more outwardly facing. That's fine. You could do that kind of thing too. So let's put a few of these pom-poms in here for teeth. I think I will, in this case, put the glue right here and then put that pom-pom in it. Oh, that's a great look. For these kind of goofy round teeth like this, I really like them. Like I say, if you like pointed teeth, you can do pointed teeth too with some of that stiffened felt shapes. I always burn myself a little bit. Not too bad. Oh, look at that. It's goofy looking, isn't it? That's great. So you kind of get the idea of how you can make your puppet. I'll probably add some more teeth and do some different things on him, but he's fun. There he is. How's it going, man? Well, I'm a puppet. I don't know what kind of voice I'm going to talk with you, because I'm not quite done yet. Yeah. Let's give him some red cheeks. Red cheek. You can also use permanent markers or to color on these. Add things like whiskers and eyelashes and things could be done with permanent marker stripes. If you like that look. Some people don't like that look. But there we go, look at that. Oh yeah, super cute. I might give him a mouth full of teeth. Some students have used other bits of felt to add more to their puppet or glued it on for extending the back edge of the puppet. If you have long sleeves, then you can also tuck your puppet into your sleeve when you're performing. That can be nice. Okay, here we're looking at our puppet kit and everything that comes in it. So you get a lot of shapes, pieces, probably more than you'll need. You get the 12 blanks, you get the googly eyes, and you get the yarn. So some additional supplies. Pom-poms are great for adding more dimensionality and getting things to stand up off the surface. If you want your eyes to look more forward, you can put pom-poms behind them, things like that. They're great for making teeth as well. You'll need some kind of glue, like the Aleene's felt and foam glue. Hot glue gun is very useful. Other pieces of felt that students may want to use to make other things for their puppet. Maybe some other colors of yarn, like black yarn is very useful for certain things, black or white yarn. And some of the stiffened felt to make a better mouth plate inside there. Foam. The foam, sticky back foam is also another thing that you might use. Some of my students have also used some pipe cleaners to create tails and different things on their puppet. Also things that might stick off, arms and things can be made on the puppet. Other felt can be folded into strips, and this could be placed as arms on your puppet, coming off the side of your puppet. And then arm rods can be made as well. So we can use some arm rods of some meat skewers, some bamboo skewers will work great for arm rods on these puppets. So kids are finishing up their puppets and they are sure ready to take them home, but we're leaving them at school for a little bit so we can still practice with them and record more videos with them. So we're using our puppet theater some to record with our puppets. We're practicing with our puppets every day. So when they come to art, sometimes at the end of art, we'll film a few videos or do some practice with our puppets. We're learning how to use them. Sometime we have an entire class put their puppets up and we say, puppet up, and we learn how to speak with our puppet. So we're learning how to use our hand. Now I'm right-handed, but a lot of times I puppet with my left hand because that's just my preference. So we talk about which arm do they want to puppet with mostly. And we talk about how to use your hand, how to grip the puppet's mouth, and how to talk with the puppet. So we practice talking on the syllables for our puppet. And we practice using the thumb to come down. So sometimes if you just try to move your thumb down, it's a little hard and you will flap the top. And we try to get the kids not to just flap the top of their puppet's head, but use the lower jaw comes up and down. So sometimes this involves this kind of motion of the wrist to get that puppet talking in the correct way. Another thing we practice puppets with sometimes is these eyes that you can slip over your fingers. Now they're a little small for my fingers, but I can put them on with a a little chenille stem there. So, but kids can practice with these eyes. They can practice. We also practice like keeping eye contact. And we practice then again our talking and our syllables and how we talk with our puppet. Lefty, my name's Lefty. You can do this. So these are a fun little thing that the kids like to use to practice puppetry with. Well, that was a good video about puppet making. If you have any questions, just email the man and he'll let you know. We sure do enjoy it. Thanks for joining us. Foggy out.